Hello people of YouTube, my name is RetroNC and today I'm going to show you a challenge I recently made up. Quite simple actually. You'll all probably know Pokemon and Minecraft, right? Well, there's also a thing called Pixelmon, a Minecraft mod that brings you the cute yet lore-wise horrifying creatures into the game of Minecraft. Google search it if you don't know. Get with the times, boy. Well, and there is also a thing for hardcore gamers who are too bored of being good at a kids game, so take it a step further. A Nuzlocke. Never heard of it? Like I said, Google it. So, by using 10% of my IQ, I fused them to both together. 10% sounds like it is really easy to think of yourself, and to that I say, it is. If you have done something like this before, share it in the comments. I don't know, something like that. And while you're down there, maybe try clicking the red shiny button. I heard it's pretty trendy right now, so follow the times again and click it. Oh, and that thumbs up button is pretty cool too, I guess. Wink wink if you know what I mean. Disclaimer, I am shit at this, as you will see on, so think what you want. The main reason of this video is to show tryhards that such a thing exists and try out a new formula, so don't go hating just because I didn't live up to your expectations, or otherwise it's an informative video. Phew, that got a bit too real. Anyways, time to jump in, fellas. First thing we do is create a new world called Pain. Why? Because they ain't gonna be bussin'. After creating, we get a choice for a starter. From all of these, I choose Froakie. Why? Because it's the fastest starter, dum-dum. At least that's what a 1-minute search says. Of course, first thing we do is not panic because of an island spawn, but nickname our starter Run. Pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. And a bold nature is what gives you a 5 across the ass. Any better? Like I said, the sharing button. Well, off to do something useful rather than die inside. Excuse me, Fire Lord, for saying this, but that fisherman looking hella sussy. Well, probably best bet is to take some of my morning wood and beat it into a plank. To make a boat, of course. Jeez, what a clumsy dumbass. Imagine being him. At the start, the best bet for a good start would be finding a village and or a Poke Center for loot, since with a Froakie we ain't making to the morning. Well, it should be a good idea, but alas, the foreshadowing starts. Heading into the forest, which I soon will realize is a bad idea, I think of collecting apricorns for possible Pokeballs and berries for a slimmer chance of better odds surviving. Definitely in the future I wouldn't do that, since forests are a death trap. At the start, little suckers attack me with every chance they caught. Also, another disclaimer, if you notice that sometimes it seems like I'm talking about random stuff, it's because I record the gameplay and do written voiceover later, like a disabled commentator, at least for this video. So excuse me, princess. Pretty much the best idea I got this time was to go through places like extreme hills, since I have a better view of the Pokemon. Little suckers ain't gonna touch my precious. Off to finally get some stone tools. Don't want the little kids screaming and raging at the screen teaching a gamer how to play a game that a huge amount of people have played at least once. So no, sorry. Not sorry. Oh, and don't forget to add a sprinkle of don't forget the cold dumbass on top. Really makes you think, huh? Not really. Yes, Mom, I packed the stone axe along too. Can you now leave me alone? Oh, parents, always with their wisdom. Listen to your parents, kids. Or, watch YouTube and listen to a YouTuber. That's cool too. Oh, wow. That didn't take long. The cops are already around the place. Seems someone couldn't keep off their hands off some nice good old weed. Though. You definitely saw that coming, alright? Really? Damn, I'm proud of you. Here's a medal. I'm so proud of you. Ah, great. The little poopy heads can't keep away from my weird way. Shoo now. Off to the lands of annoying stinkers you go. I guess I can't keep avoiding the forests, can I? Well, the mountains are safer, but that doesn't mean they are safe. For example, did you see that buff little kid Matchup? The little boy probably rip off my Froaky's throat out. Yikes. Best bet really is going through the water after all. Those frickers shouldn't be able to touch me while I'm in the water. At least I hope. Because the forest ain't the place to be, amigo. Well, unless you want to be destroyed. Insert the funny innuendo here or whatever. That little brain of yours probably will think of something. For good or for bad. The only real thing to grind on, excuse me, is Magikarps. Those McDonald fishes may not be able to hit you or hit you hard, but they do make a nice splash. Basketball probably is pretty dope in the Pokemon world. Yeah, that raw fish is cool and all, but at this point I realize that it's probably better if I play without shaders next time. If there will be a next time, that is. Because as you might see, with the sushi shaders, this game easily can be turned into a horror game. Give it some time and you'll be wetting your pants soon. Like I said, the visibility drastically decreases, which makes this experience even more difficult. I mean, the views you can get in the game can be pretty, for example, the moon rising, but in the end, it's just not worth it. Well, unless you got your pockets full of torches, but you probably don't, at least at the start. So yeah, it's just easier to play without. Like, fact that at any moment a Pokemon can jump out and attack me ending this super fast isn't pleasant at all. Just don't be a Hypno, please. I don't want to be wandering in the forest with a creepy pedo grandpa looking ass Pokemon holding my hand and taking me to a place to clap my cheeks. That might sound nasty, but the stuff that is in Hypno's Pokédex entries isn't far off, so... Also, getting the smallest sliver experience can be risky, so it's better to get new members or loot first, but that still doesn't mean it's easy to do. A goddamn Pikachu could pull up on you in the dark and be like, oh well, at least we're eating some fine cooked rat meat. What a good first night. When you get a good while into the game, you even start to doubt the thought of fighting a goddamn fish that looks like it's constantly dying, both on the inside and outside. Like goddamn, in exchange for half of your health, you go only up a level. This pitch black FNAF looking ass dark just better to chill in the water. This shit does stuff to you to the point that you start to fear freaking rats and have dead fishes. Hey, look, a wormhole. That actually could be also a normal strategy, because you can avoid the Pokemon more easily. There are also villages, and the best part is in the end cities, which also have good loot. No, scratch that, great loot. It is definitely more risky because of the shulkers, but to each their own. You could avoid encounters while being in the boat, right? Because I would definitely be effed by now. Take notes, people. What type of notes? Now that I don't know. How about that? Well, I guess you learn something new every day. For example, that boats are more useful than I originally thought, and filler talking quickly becomes stale. Great. Even when I thought I finally came up with a way to fix this darkness problem, with just turning up the smooth lighting level, which barely helped. Still, it helped. But of course, only after I have finished it, I come up with a different solution. Just turn off the goddamn shader. Jeez. Sometimes being an idiot sucks, especially if there is a much better solution to such a silly problem. Even boating becomes super boring and tough to do. Well, this stuff happens. What is your favorite Pokemon? Mine is Luigi. Tell me in the comments. Always interesting to see this stuff. Okay, to be honest, one of my favorites is Ledin. How about that? Maybe mountains are a better strat because of the better visibility, but still, steep sides are a death trap, and that doesn't mean there still aren't aggressive little shits like this Caterpie. Like goddamn, usually it is so easy to get rid of, but in times like these they even come dangerous. Anyways, off to the sea we go. Of course, I get to see some semi-rare biomes like Stone Beach, but can't even find a Pokemon Center out in the wilderness. But honestly, how do they even stay afloat? Like, they do everything for you, for free. Oh well, look at me, complaining about a kid's game logistics. Takes one moment of not paying attention and boom, you lose. Foreshadowing? Perhaps, perhaps not. Like, even that Wingull could sweep down and get you like that. While I'm miserably searching for loot or anything else useful for the Nuzlocke, may I interest you in scrolling down to the comments section and recommending me a game to Nuzlocke? Since, you know, I'm all about Nuzlocking, as you may have noticed. So like I said, if anything pops up in your head, don't forget to comment. Meanwhile, while struggling to find a normal river, so just giving up and going up a mountain yet again. The hope of finding anything slightly dwindles yet again. Only a problem on mountains is that it only takes one small step to either get game ended or engage accidentally in a battle with a pointlessly aggravated Pokemon, like that Corfish, or like that Roly-Poly. Probably didn't notice it the first time too, right? Yep, like I said, doesn't take much to fail this. While grinding also could be useful in the extreme hills with a water-type starter, they still could outspeed and faint your Pokemon, or just a Pokemon which isn't weak to water can also just attack you, for example Machop, so it isn't really that good of a strategy either. Staying afloat with a boat is surely the GOAT. See what I did there? Pretty cool, I know. Speaking of boats, the Swamplat. Pretty nice since it has a lot of water which works well for boating yet again. Doesn't help at all when you get lucky and the water doesn't really go to anywhere. Off to the mountains we go. Another good strat which I think I would be one of the best is quickly collecting some apricorns and planting them while we go mining for iron to make an anvil to craft iron discs, and after coming up cooking the apricorns. In the result of that you can make Pokeballs to capture new members to give you a better fighting chance. Speaking of new members, the way I decided that the counters would work is either the first Pokemon you spot in a new biome or the first Pokemon that attacks you in a new biome. Since there aren't any roots of anything like that, biomes are really the only way. I guess villages and ultra wormholes could count as a bonus encounter, but that's up to you. Of course, you could also play with mods like Biomes of Plenty, which would give you more encounters and that would make it easier. So yeah, if you play by that type of rules, probably best to start with the Biomatic mod. Of course, you can mix up this rule set. I'm just giving a base to start off for your own ideas. Time to move that brain of yours. As you can see, I have clearly started to become desperate by starting to go through forests since I could cover more ground by doing that and get some berries and or apricorns. But still, it's at the bottom of my concerns. Better don't do this, only if you are speedrunning or have a death wish for your Pokemon, you monster. Also, the speed of finishing this challenge could definitely depend a lot on your luck, since you could get nothing at all, not even close to you, completely lucky and spawn next to a village and a structure. Speaking of villagers, I completely forgot to tell you about the goal of the challenge, or at least what I came up with. The goal of the challenge is to defeat a full gym at a village. That may seem simple, but the gym leader's Pokemon scales off your highest level Pokemon, and depending on your encounter luck you could get absolutely steamrolled. For example, you get encounters like Sentret and Zigzagoon, but the gym you find is the Steel type. See what I mean? You also could do something like an endless run, which could be more fun, but that's up to you. Great, night comes up again. To be honest, this place is darker than a 14-year-old's made up dark heart and depression in their head. Too far? Too far. You could also still play with shaders like me, and also turn extremely high your monitor's brightness and burn your eyes out. I'm telling you, this is a horror version of a Nuzlocke. One moment you're happily walking on top of the mountains, the other moment you're scared for your Pokemon's life in the pitch black. Probably just better to camp out the night, better safe than sorry, or, better safe than dead. At least you can catch up with crafting, inventory organization and eating cooked dead Magikarp. Survival of the fittest and other stuff along the lines of that stuff. Mojang should add backpacks into the vanilla game. I mean, yeah, I know shulker boxes exist, but still, you can only get them in the endgame and it can get a bit tedious to place them all the time. I don't know, just a thought of mine. Time to stare into the darkness while waiting for the day to come yet again. If you start imagining drawing lines around clouds in the sky, you probably have a bad case of boredom. Feels like the night always takes much longer than the day, contrary to real life. Who could have guessed? There, finally, the dawn has come yet again. Isn't the magic of editing beautiful? I'm never going to miss that extreme pitch black darkness, but I will take one beautiful look at the sun, please. Yikes, the bosses are guaranteed loss if they attack you. Unless it's later in the run. Depends a lot on your position, honestly. Better to make a run for it and search rather than waste your time. Minutes here are pretty precious if you haven't noticed. I guess planes are kind of okay too because of the clear field, but the grass makes it harder to spot them, so I would rather avoid them if I had the chance. Sorry to interrupt once again, but I promise, last time, I think. Anyways, I'm just asking since this is my first video, I want to know how should I better do these videos. The next video I will create, I will make in a different style. By that I mean without scripting the text and talking over it later. Instead I will talk while recording. After that video, comment and tell me which do you like better. Cheers! Dark woods can be pretty dangerous, but you walk on top of the trees it should be safer. Emphasis on safer. Travel by water can be pretty difficult or just plain impossible, since, well, there just isn't water sometimes. Like I mentioned before, traveling on top of the trees can be better, but don't ask me how walking on leaves works, but yeah, it works, so let's use the occasion while we can. You may notice now what I meant by emphasizing on safer travel. I'm pretty sure in this state our Froakie called Run could easily get overwhelmed by speedy Pidgeys and high-level Butterfrees, so you may have noticed no place really is safe, except maybe the sky and the ocean. A little bit at least. I don't know how I didn't think of this before, but I will just cut until something noteworthy or important/interesting happens. Go on, roast me about how the video would end just right now after that statement. I dare you. Catch you on the very quick flip side. First example of something important, an alive inanimate cold object, roly-poly. Jesus, if that thing would have a brain, the video would end right here, right now. But alas, that dumbass just threw sand at the frog's face. What more did you expect from a live cold piece on a cold wheel? Yeah, that's right, Timothy, I thought so too. Nothing! Anyways, let's ignore the very near-death experience and move on with this cursed run. Remember gambling an innocent Ninja Frog's life almost for nothing? So here is a nasty little snake, pretty much the Pokemon name. This little bugger, what did he do? Just watch. And just like that, everything is over. Like I mentioned before, this easily could have ended a lot faster. For example, that same stupid coal pile. Well, that was a horrible attempt at a Pixelmon Nuzlocke attempt. Well, this was more of an informative video. I hope you got an idea of roughly how would the Pixelmon Nuzlocke would work. If you decide to try out a Pixelmon Nuzlocke, post a screenshot on Twitter or Instagram with the tag Pixelmon Nuzlocke. Anyways, I hope you even had a slimmer of enjoyment from this video. Expect another video somewhat soon. Remember about also the trendy red subscribe button down below. Also maybe the cool little liking thing. And to that I say, that's all fellow folks. Peace.